Welcome back, trainers. So, as you may know, we do have Mudkip Community Day, which is going to be happening on Sunday, July 21st. This is a day you do not want to miss because Swampert with Hydro Cannon is going to be absolutely amazing right behind Kyogre as a water attacker. So the shiny variant is going to be that purple pink color, which is pretty neat as well. It's always fun going out there and hunting those shinies, but most importantly, getting that Hydro Cannon on your Swampert when you evolve it from Marshtomp. So let's go ahead and take a look at the perks here. And when you evolve it from Marshtomp to Swampert, it will receive Hydro Cannon during that 3-hour period, as well as that 1-hour grace period after Community Day. And then you're going to have ×3 catch bonus. So if you need that XP, go ahead and put on a lucky egg and rack up that XP. Bonuses are going to have that 3-hour lure, just like usual. Now, when it comes down to using the other lure modules, I highly recommend that you just go for the regular lures because it's going to kind of mess up the whole rhythm and you're not going to just get the Mudkip spawn. You're going to have all kinds of other variants. So just stick with the regular pink lure modules. And like I said, this is going to be going down July 21st from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. your local time zone. So with that said, let's go ahead and go over the best water attackers in Pokemon Go currently so you can have a good understanding on how well this is going to be performing as a pure water attacker. Now, keep in mind that this is going to be somewhat of a budget. Yes, Kyogre is going to be better, but Swampert is not far behind with Hydro Cannon, as well as going over Muddy Water, because that is gonna probably be like Blaziken Community Day, in which it received Blast Burn, and then Blaze Kick was able to be TM'd. So keep that in mind. You're not gonna have to TM it during the Pokemon Go Community Day time, anytime afterwards. So let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers so you can have a good understanding on where this thing is going to be landing. All right, trainers, so we are over here on the Game Press. I will be leaving a link in the description so you can go and check it out yourself and test it out and see how this performs. So we do have Kyogre sitting at the top with Waterfall and Hydro Pump with 15.91 DPS, which is going to be the number 1. Then we have Swampert with Water Gun and Hydro Cannon sitting at 15.61. So as you can see, it's barely behind Kyogre. So if you're a new player, simply cannot get a bunch of rare candies, or just were busy during the times in which Kyogre was out in the raids, Swampert is going to be a fantastic option to cover you for water attackers, because as you can tell, it's still performing fantastically even though it does not have Waterfall and its attack is a little bit lower than Kyogre. So keep that in mind. This is going to be an absolutely fantastic day for you to get out there and grind as much Mudkips as you can possibly get. And then taking a look at Feraligatr, it's going to be at that lower end, but not too far behind, but still Swampert and Kyogre are going to be way outpacing it, with Waterfall and Hydro Cannon sitting at 14.793, and it's still a decent Pokemon, and this is why I did not power up a whole bunch of Feraligatrs when that Community Day came around. I think I may have maybe maxed out one. I don't even think I did. I bring one up for the Ultra League as well as the Great League. Other than that, I knew Swampert was going to be outpacing it. And this is why we go over, do not power up a whole bunch of different Pokemon that are going to be outpaced in the near future, because that Stardust investment is not going to be completely wasted. Yes, you have a decent water attacker for Alligator or whatever the case may be. Regarding Tyrannotars, I did max out a full team. Well, I think it was like, yeah, full team pretty much. And now we have Rampardos way outpacing it. A little bit of a glass cannon, but it's still going to be doing good here. So clear as day, Swampert with Hydro Cannon is going to be absolutely amazing. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the PvP here. In Gyarados, it was towards the lower end there. It's still going to be a fantastic option, say when Groudon does come back, and going up against an Earthquake or Solar Beam Groudon will be very good throwing in that Gyarados, because it will be resisting the Earthquake and it will be neutral damage with that Solar Beam. On the other hand, Kyogre and Swampert will be going down extremely fast with that Solar Beam, and especially Swampert being 4 times weak to grass. And now if we take a look at PvP here, number 1 water attacker is going to be Swampert with Mudshot and Hydro Cannon, doing pretty good. And if you're new to this whole scene and you're wondering why is it recommending Mudshot, Mudshot is going to be gaining you a whole lot more energy so you can get off Hydro Cannon a bunch, right? Simple as that. You'll be able to get to that Hydro Cannon a lot quicker, sitting at 12.661 DPS. And then you have Water Gun, Hydro Cannon sitting at 10.645. Now, can you see the significant difference? Because Mudshot is going to be enabling you to get off that Hydro Cannon a lot more, therefore DPS is going to be higher. As far as Kyogre goes in the Great League, don't even worry about that. For Alligator, sitting at 9.989 with Waterfall and Hydro Cannon. It's not looking so hot. Swampert is going to be way outpacing it. I did personally use Swampert in the Boulder Cup with Mudshot and Earthquake, and it performed fantastic. Absolutely loved it. I can just imagine with Hydro Cannon being a somewhat of an OP move, doing a ton of damage even to Pokemon that resist it. Although if you did go up against, say, a Venusaur or something like that, it will still hurt it, but obviously grass is going to be resisting that water. And then, I don't know, Gyarados, you don't really need to use that in the Great League unless you did have that double legacy, or at least a legacy. Twister is going to be good. It's not on this list, but if you did have a, say, Dragon Breath and Twister, that's fantastic. Or simply even a Dragon Breath, Gyarados is going to be doing pretty good. But as far as water attackers go, Swampert is looking absolutely fantastic. So if we go ahead and go back to the regular PvE, going up against gyms and raids, Kyogre number 1, and then Swampert right behind it, barely. Say if it was sitting at 14.48 or something like that, that would be a significant difference. But the difference between the Kyogre and Swampert with Waterfall and Hydro Pump, and then Water Gun and Hydro Cannon is not that much. So it's going to be within your best interest to get out there and catch as many of these as you can. Now, the ideal Swampert for PvP, like we went over, is going to be 0 in attack, 15 defense, and then 15 stamina. And if you're wondering, I see a lot of questions asking me, well, why do you want 0 in attack for PvP? Well, the attack in IVs is going to weigh on that CP quite heavily. Therefore, you're going to be able to get to a higher level if you do have a lower attack. If that doesn't make too much sense, just think about you're bringing it to its higher potential with a lower attack. And when you're in PvP, attack doesn't really matter too much. Your level is what you're trying to look for and trying to get closer to that 1500 marker. So just keep that in mind. You're going to want the lowest attack possible when you're going into these PvP matches with whatever Pokemon, unless here's an exception to the rule, something that maxes out under 1500 CP. Like a Medicham, you're going to want a 100% IV in that case. All right, trainers, and another tip for you during the Mudkip Community Day, remember we do have that new search function. Most important one of all is going to be 4-star, and you will be able to look up your 100% IVs in case you did come across those. Also, we have that fantastic new IV checker here, so we can just simply go over, and if you do so happen to have one of those low attacks that we were talking about, then you will be able to simply start it up immediately and then go about your day without pulling out the IV checkers. Although those do work fantastic as well, but this is going to be so much quicker, and once you learn the numbers, you should be able to just get it done extremely fast. All right, trainers, and also in my previous video going over the new PvP mechanics, the new swipe motions, which I am still enjoying quite a bit, we're going to go through an example here. I wasn't quite aware of this at the time, but for every single typing is going to be the same. For steel types, it's going to have the X motion through the middle. For electric types, it's going to have that rain cloud with the electric symbols falling from it. And then for fairies, it's going to have the circle motion. For dragons, it's going to have kind of circles coming from the left side of the screen. For water moves, which we're going to be taking a look at now, it's going to be coming from the right top hand side of the screen. And it's going to be fairly simple for that. That's going to be for all the same types, same animation. So there you go, cleared up that. That was kind of just a test run for that first video. So let's go ahead and look at an example here. And we're going to go with Swampert first since we're on this subject. For Alligator, I think that one has Hydro Cannon. And let's see if we can find one with Vaporeon has Hydro Pump. Let's just go with the Kyogre Shiny, right? Now you can get a better understanding of what I'm talking about. So if you use Thunderbolt, it's going to have the clouds, and then you're going to have to do the swipe animation. And if you use Thunder, it's going to be the same animation. So we're just going to get to the surf, and then we're going to switch so you can see what I'm talking about here. And usually from the upper side like this. All right. This one's fairly simple. Just got to keep your finger on the screen and go up and down accordingly to whatever it is. Now let's go ahead and switch into for Alligator here. And it does have Hydro Cannon. Perfect. So let's go ahead and get to that. So you can see it's the exact same for all the water type charge moves. And it's going to be the same way for every other typing as well. See, coming from the side, exact same way. Fantastic. Now I'm not going to be able to switch here for a few seconds. So we're just going to put in work with the Feraligatr here and see what we have going on. So as far as the new charge moves, I'm enjoying it, guys. It's really fun. It's different. And I heard a few people in my last video saying, well, this is going to eliminate the kind of shield baiting situation because they're going to be able to see what kind of swiping you're doing and maybe determine on which move you're trying to go for. Therefore, they'll be able to just let the move go through, knowing that it's not going to be super effective or whatever the situation is. And that's true to some degree, but at the same time, maybe you can just walk away from your opponent when you battle and just don't face them so they can't see you tapping on the screen. Problem solved. All right, now we're going to go for a Hydro Pump. This is going to be our third water type charge move. All of these are going to be different with the same sort of swiping animation. We're just going to shield this up, I suppose. Not very effective, but I want it to survive, even though I wouldn't have done much damage. Almost to that Hydro Pump. And you'll be able to see what we're talking about here. Now this is going to one-shot the Moltres for sure. So just tap on it, and it's going to be coming from the side yet again. So all water moves the same. Same with the Steel, Bug, Grass, Flying, Dragon, whatever it may be for that charge move, they're all going to be the same animation. Obviously, they're going to be different from the different typings, but those same types of the charge moves are still going to be the same sort of tap, or not even tap anymore, swipe your finger style. So there you have it, trainers. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Team Rocket is still plotting how they're going to be entering the Pokemon Go and bringing in those shadow Pokemon. Very excited to see how this works. I don't know if they're going to actually have shadow moves. Very interested to see if they do not have shadow moves. That's going to deteriorate people from kind of wanting to keep them because when you do purify them, they will be learning these new moves. So we'll see how this all works and plays out. And with that said, trainers, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.